welcome back to the second day working on the Slacker bus. If you guys know Dale, he had the Slacker box and he was up with me all summer working on Ivan. But Dale recently bought this school bus, and in the last episode I came on down here, visited up with my friends Will and Alex and Dale, and we are doing some work on Dale's bus so that he can actually get it roadworthy and bring it back up to New York to my place so that we can work on it in the summer. But it's so weird to be in Florida because if you guys are longtime subscribers around here, you know that pretty much all winter we've been dealing with like 4 feet of snow plus, and today I'm dealing with Florida rain. This is it's just really weird. I mean, if that was, you know, snow, they usually say like it's what, an inch of rain for a foot of snow, and I'm pretty sure we'd have a foot of snow right now. I know that these guys are sleeping still. But once everyone's up, we have some coffee and talk about the day. We're gonna be getting started on these floors. We wanna get these things welded, get them all sealed up, get them painted so that we can start looking forward to doing some subfloors. And yesterday, we got all the underbus stuff done, worked on the engine. So, I mean, we've got our checklist and we're just gonna keep on going. Gotta wait for everyone to get up. Dale's got some coffee. And it's kind of funny because this is Dale's box truck, but I'm living in it. So I invited him over for breakfast before we get working on the bus. So bacon and eggs sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right, we're gonna make some bacon eggs in Dale's box truck that I'm borrowing for the next 2 weeks. Thanks, Dale. We got some bacon. We got some bagels, we got some Florida oranges, we got some eggs, cheese, and coffee.
And just for the record, just so you know, I know you're from New York, but those are, I'm pretty sure those are grapefruit.
Alright, the rest of the crew is going to be showing up in just a little bit, but me and Dale are actually going to do one quick thing. Yesterday when we were doing all the grease fittings and different things, we found one of the bushings was bad, so we're actually going to get the part number off of it, run over to Napa, and get a new one so we can replace it on this tire today. But the rest of the day is pretty much going to be interior. We're going to be grinding and welding the floors, trying to get this painted. I think we're going to have quite a bit of fun because we always do.
Always have fun. Can't have fun, there's no sense doing it.
He's a smart man. This is why he's the supervisor. Or am I the supervisor? No, I'm the supervisor. Alright, well, me and Will put quite a bit of work into trying to get this bushing out, but what we decided was we don't actually have the right tools to be able to get the bushing to separate out, and also Dale wants to be able to drive this thing, so we don't want to take the risk of not being able to get the parts, not doing it, and this is something that he could put in the shop and they'll do it like super fast. So we're gonna actually stop doing this, move on, and move into welding. floors are pretty much welded. We've got a little bit more work to do there, and we got all of our roof holes welded up and completed. But what I want to start doing is start tackling into all this electrical. The one thing that I don't know, it's so much fun to me, is just going through all the electrical, getting it all sorted out. And in the last video, we did get all the AC wires pulled out of the battery box. So now what we're gonna do is do all the interior wires and just have some fun. I mean, just a mess of wires. We're gonna end up like 1,000 feet of wires by the end of the day. We've just been moving, and Alex and Will and myself have just been going on the electrical and the floors. Will just cleaned up and finished all the flooring, welded it all closed, so we're just about to get ready to paint once we get all that done. And me and Alex have been doing the extremely fun task that I know we both enjoy. We love it so much. Just going through all the electrical, pulling out all the old wires. Pretty much all we're leaving is the turn signals, brakes, reverse, things like that. And all of the heater wires that are in there are pulled out. The AC wires, all the kit emergency lights, all that kind of stuff is pulled out of that fuse box so that we, one, know that everything's grounded out correctly, nothing's gonna be shorting out his batteries. But also it's gonna just make it way easier in the future when he's wiring the bus to do any troubleshooting or any wires and stuff, that he just knows that they're not supposed to be there or they are supposed to be there. It's a lot of work, but we're pretty excited to get this thing painted today.
It's nice having a team to get everything
done
at once. So.
Yeah, and Will's been living in a bus for how long?
2 years now.
2 years? And Alex, you've been?
A bit over 2 years.
2 years. So we've got like 2, 4, like 8 years of bus life happening right here. So that's pretty fun. Alex and I just almost finished up drum wiring all of the old kit emergency stuff, safety stuff, and Dale, who you know, is the supervisor and decision man here, pulled out the heaters because he's a Florida man, not a New York man, and doesn't care about heat. So we were tracing the wires up through the engine, and unfortunately, slash fortunately, they end up in the dash. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy does that make you right there?
I would say 12.
12? All right, well right now, it definitely looks like a complete mess. Like everything's just not together. But all the wires are completely ripped out, and we're at the point now where we're gonna start actually putting it back together. It looks like Dale's actually gonna get the vacuum out and just kind of clean up some of the old dust and debris. But let me show you how many wires we actually pulled out. It was quite the day. But like, it's just a bucket full of wires. It's gonna be really nice in the future because when Dale's trying to run all of his electrical, we're trying to run the DC to DC converters, he knows that everything is properly wired at this point, and all the stuff that used to be in there is now completely gone. And yeah, it's definitely gonna make the actual wiring later a lot easier. And the bus isn't gonna have any ground outs or issues in the future with the batteries dying. So it's such a fun day to pull all the wires out. And the next thing and last thing on the list for today is going to be, we're going to be painting the floors so we can let them dry overnight, and then tomorrow we can keep working on this rig. So we still got to finish up wiring up all the lights, getting all these hung up and stuff, but we want to get the floors painted, just get that over with. We know we got good weather, and we know that it's going to dry tonight, so we're just going to get that done. right, well, we got it painted. The floor is drying. Man, 2 days. 2 days, Alex, me, Will, Dale, killing it. I mean, it is just looking so good. And now we just gotta literally watch paint dry.
Hard job.
Alex and I are gonna start installing these exterior floodlights in the back of the bus and the front of the bus, which we still have to cut the holes. But what we're actually doing right now is trying to figure out what size wire we need to use to actually run them all together. So we're gonna be running 4 lights in the back, and Alex is doing a little test quick to see how much they actually draw, because what we wanna know is, can we use this 16 AWG wire, or do we need to use a bigger or smaller wire, or maybe even run 2 to get the right amount of power to these lights in the back. We got 1 light on, so we can run our test. Yep,
It's only been thrown in.
So Alex just determined that these lights draw less than 1 amp per light, which means in total, they're gonna only be running 4 amps in terms of when they're all on at the same time. So we're gonna be completely fine with running our 16 AWG from the front of the bus to the back of the bus. And yeah, little test, you know you're good. Dude, good job. Yeah, it's a leaky bus right there. That's supposed to happen, guys. Yep.
But it's like we can't, you know, where would that come from?
Dale, how does that make you feel about your bus?
Man, I feel good about it because I know it's in good hands, Mike. I don't know how it makes you feel.
It's not in my hands.
Well, as foreman, you're in charge of making sure that these kind of things are corrected before we get too far into the build, you know?
You're in good hands because Will's here. Will, look at those hands.
Look at them.
Look at them. They're taking care of it. All right, well, this is a prime example of why we always gut the buses down all the way and really try to get into every little detail, because that water would have been in there, and if Will didn't just take that off and find out there's a leak, we would have started building the bus back, and there probably would have been a leak somewhere in here that would have eventually rotted out this wall right here. So it is important to water test and kind of really look through your bus if you're gonna do it. Yo, Dale.
Yo, Mike.
Think we should take it for a spin around the block.
Not today.
All right, well, front markers are on right there. Now we just got to do those, and then do some of the side markers, and then we're moving along. Don't worry, our good friends Will and Alex are gonna be back, but they headed out. And when they headed out, another friend actually showed up, Travis and Michelle, in their bus. So Will and Alex headed out for a day. Travis and Michelle came in for a day. So I just finished up all the marker lights when they just pulled in, and I have one task of the day left, but I just wanted to introduce you to them because you might know them actually from the Schoolie Swarm or some of the Florida events. These guys are the awesome ones who put those events on. So this is Travis and Michelle. And we've been friends for, what, we met like
17.
Yeah, like...
No, 4 years ago.
4 years ago we met them. Last task of the day is this just came in the mail. Just like, you know, my Ivan bus and Will's bus, #1 bus, Dale decided he wanted a light bar. So we just put all these other lights in, but this guy is gonna go right on up there, and that's the last task of the day. We got it mounted up there. I still got to do some adjustments on the actual light because the nuts on the back are extremely difficult to get to, but I'll figure it out. That's all good. And I got to get a waterproof connection for this wire here so that we can actually get it into the cab and then run it down into a dash control for Dale so that he can use it. I'm thinking what he's going to do is, since we gutted out this electrical panel, we're probably going to wire it into one of these here so that we can reuse these fuses and then run it right back up into the control panel right here, and then it'll just be a nice easy little toggle switch, good to go. And then Dale can use this light bar and those lights, and I don't know what he's trying to light up, but you know, I think he just wants more lights than me and Will. I really think that's what it is.
Got a problem with wanting more light?
No, I just think that you saw the light bar that we put on Ivan and you saw the light bar on Will's bus and you're going, somehow you need more light.
No, what it was the other day when we mounted the ones on the back, everybody went, well, those lights are just going to go out here into nowhere. And I went, you're right, maybe I should get a light bar that I can actually go into nowhere and shine down.
Either way, we got the lights in, floor's painted, electrical's done, and we're waiting for some more people to show back up. But, you know, we've got more buses in the driveway. This bus is moving right along. So, with that said, we're going to be moving on into the next episode. So, thank you for watching. And just remember that if you're interested, you guys can subscribe, check out more build videos, and thank you for everyone over on Patreon for supporting the channel. But, part 2's done, and we'll see you when we get done in the next one.